D plus again. KT already up in this series. D plus lives on the line. Double banning again. AD carries from the side of KT from red side. Deft kind of flashed a couple options, and Deft has been very versatile so far with the picks. You know, he already had the Ziggs pick, he already had the Caitlyn pick, so he's definitely one spreading the love around.
Certainly is. I think it was the first time he's played a champion more than once in the Aphelios in game number 1. Had otherwise played 6 unique champions. So we'll see where he is going to head towards this time. Because the Caitlyn, still something that's glaring for me, because he's been so good at translating Caitlyn early games into victories. And I think it's that translation that they need a little bit of help with as we move into this one. Jarvan going to be the first lock-in, though, for Canyon. That is going to give over a lot of power to KT. The Azir is coming up. The Rumble is banned from D+ this time.
But they're giving BDD Azir again. So with the Jarvan early pick, you're thinking, oh, they already want to pair Jarvan with Orianna because they're assuming BDD is going to pick his Azir. But I would assume, oh, actually they might go with an engage. Like, I mean, I would also assume that because BDD was just so exceptional on this champion. He basically won them that game.
Yeah.
Even with them giving over Dragon Soul, came in with a huge big play for them. But KT think differently. They don't want to fall into the trap that is kind of set up for them, and they grab the Nico themselves. Showmaker did have a really good engage towards the mid lane in the last one to set them up, but KT are going to actually pair it with the later scaling here with the Zeri.
Yeah, so Zeri going to be locked in. The Aphelios still going to be the matchup. Def just happy to take it in there, as Kellen, I think there's a few people getting a little bit nervous having a look at this hover, but his Alistar domestically was extraordinarily good. So hopefully he can go back to that one, or at least in the regional qualifier.
He practices combos.
Exactly.
Usually you do it in practice tool, but he already did it on stage. So
he did
good.
earlier on. The practice, I don't know whether it gave him a lot of information, because it didn't work out super well. And position and stuff like that was also a little bit questionable. But Lahen's going to go back to the bottom duo that he was looking at last time. Of course, Nautilus, one of his most played champions, especially this year. And we'll head back there once again. I think it's very interesting that we see face-up Nico and Zeri and not a whole lot of punishment. It looks like D+ just happy to go into the same style of game as last time around. Kind of says to me that they think that it was their own individual mistake that lost them that first game, and if they just do the same thing but don't mess it up, they'll win the next one.
Yeah, definitely a bit curious there, because now you got to think, with D+ dropping Showmaker's pick, KT going to have double protection bans for their Nico as well. They take the Azir off the table. You know, Orianna, Syndra, also pretty good options. Meanwhile, with the first pick Jarvan in the hands of D+, they're trying to squeeze down Cuz. I would say the Viego, it didn't have what I expected it to do, which was going to be more early game dueling and be like this bridge that allowed them to fight some of the earlier skirmishes and stuff. But he did grab the steal on the Elder Dragon with it.
Yep. Cuz doesn't need
doesn't
Viego
matter,
to
champion.
do that.
Yeah, just a smite.
He needs smite. Yeah, that's basically it. The Sejuani also going to be taken away from Cuz, so that is largely denying the potential Keen Jax pickup here, so they can't pair it with some Permafrost.
Yeah.
Certainly is an opportunity. Aiming, what is he going to lock away is going to be the question. There is the Viego. Wukong, another opportunity.
Wukong might be emerging as the most under-the-radar strong jungle pick right now, because so many teams have had such good team fights with it.
Yeah.
Viego is better at the early dueling and at getting resets and snowballing, which when you have Nautilus and Nico on your team, I do like that pick. But Wukong brings so much to these team fights with the AoE, so we'll see. Cuz happy to pick it up back again, though. It does mean we're going to get the reveal here for the blind pick for Kana. What is it going to be? With a lot available right now, Rumble's the only top lane ban. So K'Sante Jax, do you love those champs?
K'Sante, Renekton, Jax, which K'Sante, Renekton, K'Sante, Renekton. I mean, Kana was pretty good at this champion throughout the regular season. So it is the Crocodilian version of the Shuriman options that he had. He's going to go with it. And now, Keen, what are you going to pick into this Crocodile The Gnar could be an opportunity. I actually would like to see it, and there it is. Pairs really well with the Pop Blossom. If Biddy can set him up, then Keen can certainly knock him down.
Take some notes from Zeus. That Gnar performance from him was outstanding. Actually just made it look like completely one-sided. Getting solo kills, being a stronger split pusher, being a stronger team fighter later on as well. We'll see how well Kana can actually fare on the Renekton this time around. He does have a Jarvan, but it's into a Viego, so you really do have to be careful about those duels on the top side. Choose your moments going for this mini Gnar. Use your flash. Try and chain your stun into your EQ combo, or an Ahri roam, from Showmaker as well. Showmaker picking that up. A lot of pick potential from the top side of the map.
No, I agree. And I think that once again, D+ will have earlier advantages in this game, but I think that KT can get into this a whole lot earlier than they did last time. It's not Azir Rise, you're not waiting for a Rod of Ages and a Seraph's game. It is instead this Mega Gnar that can fight around these Heralds and Dragons in the earlier stages. It's just the Zeri that is going to have that scaling edge.
Yeah, these team comps a lot more similar than we saw in the previous game. A lot of similar options open to them. And in these ones where you do have two play-making mid-lane champions that have a lot of autonomy, if you can get early jungle ganks there to unlock those mid-lane players, then that really snowballs into the side lanes.
And to quote Cloud Templar, he is Showmaker, the playmaking maker.
I heard there was also a call at this Worlds where they called him Scary Maker.
Scary Maker?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good.
It was like some brush gank play or something where he was roaming down. I like that one because it's also Halloween-themed Showmaker. We got the Scary Maker version.
Oh, see whether it's Scared Maker or Scary Maker this game.
I want to actually, that sounds like a good Halloween costume. I'm going to be a Showmaker Halloween costume where you go around.
You have been looking for options, haven't you?
You go around and you just raise your fist like he did at his webcam, constantly threatening everyone.
Speaking of which, it is his 100th international game. And of course, because he's never played without Canyon, he's alongside
I've got something
for
for you.
Woo! Congratulations. There it is.
Nice.
Beautiful. We're raining it down on Kellen.
I didn't think we'd ever get to use that at Worlds because it's a little gimmicky.
No, I like it.
That felt right.
That was perfect. It's exactly what we needed. And we'll see whether it's going to be enough to get us 3 games out of this series, because that's precisely what we want. We do not want to send D+ home on a 2-0.
I laugh every time I see that beautiful bald face pop up on my screen.
The Braum meta is in, and D+, they understand. But I don't know whether they're the ones with emote tempo, given the fact that they lost the first game. So,
but they're in a good mood, okay?
I mean,
that's what matters.
Let's see whether.
Or is it a coping Braum?
Yeah, exactly. A coping Braum is not the Braum you want to see.
Okay.
You want a confidence Braum.
Exactly.
They're the most successful one so far this Worlds.
Confidence Braum is kind of like a confidence man. He does have a safe cracker skin.
He does
as well. So. Definitely don't trust any emails coming from Braum with any links.
What's your favorite?
Don't click the link.
Are you a fan of just the classic door? Do you like the chimney? I personally like the chair. You can put up the chair.
I like the wrestler one.
Yeah, that's the one where you put up the chair.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Good.
Big fan.
That's good.
This is, of course, an LCK early game, and so we do need to basically talk about skins.
Well, I have a good story pinging
off
of the Confidence Man one.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Because I actually grew up, one of my childhood friends, his older brother was a true Confidence Man. And
really?
Yeah, was taken to jail when we were in high school. We were only 15. I was over at his house when they got raided, and the FBI came over and took his brother out, and we were doing homework, and I was like, "What is going on?" I got home, and my parents sat me down like,
explained what happened.
So this is gonna be a life lesson.
Don't commit fraud.
Yeah, your friend's brother made some interesting choices, and they were very concerned about the people that I was hanging out with at that point.
I think I can understand that. You know, sometimes you think about like helicopter parenting. I don't think this is an example of that. I think this is definitely good information.
Oh, and we're like, you know what? How about you stay inside and just play video games instead?
Well, Deft is going to get hooked by Lehens here. Has to flash away. Lehens looking for an opportunity. They may just take the cow as the flash is used after the headbutt. But that is so many summoner spells now burnt. Good trap set up by KT.
Okay. Let's see, jungler attention. Immediately when you see that type of fight, who's the jungler coming down first? Viego's gonna get bottom side Scuttle Crab. Dom1 know that they've got a recalling Canyon in top side, so they gotta get out of there. No support for them is coming. And aiming gets to eat up turret plate plus denial of the early wave here. Atlas.
The Titan's Wrath as well doing so much damage here by Lehens early on, so they'll be able to get a good back timing as well. Oh my goodness, it is a disaster for D+ here on this bottom side just because they were greeting for a wave thinking that KT had gone home.
Holy. We've seen that trick a couple of times actually. People pushing up the wave and then faking their backs and getting some surprise engages like that. It's so punishing in the early stages.
And making assumptions like that is very dangerous, as BDD is going to get snared. Nice little charm from Showmaker.
Would you say it makes anyone our particular body part? No, never mind. He gave me the weirdest look.
Yeah, what body part? I was just
assuming.
I was like, did you say excited? Excited isn't a body part. No. I don't know.
Nope.
At this point, you're allowed to say the E word, by the way, because we kind of want 3 games.
Okay.
So I'll let you off the hook, mainly because I just made the mistake of saying it twice in one sentence.
Okay, so once you do it, it's okay.
Yeah. I make the rules. I don't, actually.
Do as Atlas says, and also as he does.
Yeah. Lehens going to flash for the hook. Canyon is going to respect it, but the snare still connects from BDD. Not going to be too much follow-up, though. So summoner spells falling all over the place. Lehens, of course, didn't even have to use his flash in the last engage. They held on to both summoner spells for the bottom lane as Cuz in position. Canyon shadowing. The feeling that DK have an inkling of what's going on here. Cuz is just going to back away. So D+ retaining some level of control down here, but look at the CS gap. It is still pretty massive here for aiming, given the fact that Def missed out on that whole wave.
Yeah. I mean, that alone is so much more action than we got in the first 15 minutes of last game.
In goes Canyon. There's the headbutt pole onto Lehens, and he doesn't have flash, so he is really dead. That is going to be first blood going over to Kellen.
I was really with you until the last word there, and it goes over to the Alistar. Less than ideal, but D+, very happy to pull a surprise play on bottom side as well. Canyon helping them out to get right back on even footing. And the assist money is decent too. I mean, even though it is split over 2 people here in the early stages, happy to get something back for bottom side.
Yep, I don't mind a bit of early money going to a support either, especially when they're a tank, so they can get a little bit tankier early.
Yeah.
They're taking all of the kills, definitely going to be bad news, but this just getting some control in the lane, certainly good.
Yeah. Both supports had been sitting on their Hex flashes, so no defensive options available. But KT, even though they give up the first blood, they're the ones after the resets that are able to rotate over to Dragon.
Yep, they collect that one for themselves. Next one going to be the Chemtech. Not going to see any Infernal Souls this game. Cloud Soul still an opportunity. But we'll see where it is going to land. KT maybe able to take a leaf out of the D+ book, the red side Dragon stacking strategy. And D+ actually managing to salvage what was a bit of a disaster in that early game. Of course, we didn't get first blood for KT in that play, but it really did feel like they set themselves up really, really well in this lane. And despite Lehens going down, I still think that KT are in a fantastic position as far as the bottom lane is concerned.
Yeah, and with last game kind of lulling us with some false expectations coming into this game, a lot more action, a lot more focus towards these playmaking supports.
Right, 1 kill.
Big.
It's massive. Well, there was also the engage, 2 flashes. We're going to say that that is still action.
The turret plate as well. I mean, second turret plate is pretty close to falling here, so if they're able to make another return play here, I mean, aiming.
Ooh, hook. Gonna connect here by Lehens. Ulti from aiming as Deft is standing his ground. Did have the Gravitum to try and help out here as the extendo beam comes through for a bit of a slow onto Deft, and now they're underneath the turret. Still a little bit burnt here from KT. DK just trying to stay calm. We'll be able to be fine right now. Rift Herald has just spawned. Canyon, I believe, has made Shelly angry.
Time to walk on up. Let's see about these supports. Lehens is the first one to make a visit towards mid lane.
Yeah, in fact, aiming already there as well. Oh, actually, never mind. That wasn't aiming. That was me getting trolled by Nico. That's the first time this series, and there's been multiple Nikos, so I'm doing okay. But Aiming is going to move towards that bottom side. And we'll see whether, once again, he can grab himself some plates. Because I think that KT's, like, Zeri game plan, where they're like, we'll give away all of these Rift Heralds and stuff like that. If Zeri can get a plate, then we're very happy. And he's already got one, and he should be able to get another off the back of this, as Deft going to take a red buff, I believe, and then head towards the
the cool thing also with this play is that Deft doesn't show until just now in bottom lane. So KT were really unsure for real if they actually had Aphelios up by this attempt at Rift Herald or not, or how close he was. But Deft was en route to bottom side. He still gets double zoned off again, and Aiming's at 3 turret plates on the Zeri. That is actually kind of insane here.
And a massive amount of money as well. So Deft respecting, and we do like to see that. But a 30 CS advantage and all of those plates, it's feeling like a repeat of last game. And even though you look at the top of the screen and there isn't too much in it as far as money is concerned, especially considering the looming Rift Herald. Ooh, Nara's just going to go into the wind. King sometimes just likes to press R, and it doesn't have a massive cooldown, so you just may as well.
Playing the outside on the range, he was like, oh, if Kana makes a small misstep here, then he can pull him into tower.
Yep.
And make top lane a little bit more exciting than what was last game, where it is farming.
Didn't even look at it at all last game.
It is farming until Keen has some decent options towards laning later on. Some side lane potential. BDD.
Punished for going for his siege minion, as Kanna is going to slice his way out of the way of the boomerang. That is going to mean that BDD is not going to be able to find the gate.
So they're probably not fooled, but it is something that you should get in the habit of doing if you're playing Nico, is take the appearance of your jungler when you go for these roams. If the opponent team is smart or they're coordinated at all, then they're going to be communicating and say, hey, Nico's missing, you know, it's probably the Nico. But if they're not, like solo queue or something, and it's always beneficial, really helps your jungler out if you fake the position of your jungler sometimes.
No, I agree. I actually think that if you're not successful in the gank, that it's the best way to do it, because that information is always hidden, right? Because
unless they press tab and then they
true. But if it's like you're seen for a second, you know, and then you're back in the fog of war again, then it's certainly one of these opportunities to hide information. Information is certainly a big part of the game. Scanner gets a bit of hyper stacked up, but is otherwise going to be all right. 30 seconds on the next dragon. Is it going to be a team fight? It's my question, and I think, you know, it's a bit early for that. Personally, I think that second Drake, not one that you're going to fight for. So
I'm going to take that bet, Atlas.
All right.
I'm going to throw down.
Well, the entirety of the gold lead is Aiming, and Aiming has even more of a lead over Deft than what that tells us. So, yeah,
I'll bet you an Aiming.
Yeah.
Of value. Oh, no, he's got his full Storm Razor.
Good
Lord. That is a bit scary. That is a bit scary, but D+, wow, they didn't shove the bottom minion wave. So they're leaving the bottom minion wave while coming to push him off Dragon. I think you got to shove that wave in.
Yeah, they're going to get down there. So with Callan and Deft in the lane. Oh, Showmaker, he's going to get flashed on here by Lahen's Pop Blossom right on the edge. And that is a dead Ahri served up by the KT support. And now Colors should freely be able to start this Dragon. 26 seconds though. Showmaker does have teleport, so an opportunity to get back towards a potential fight. DK still set up for this.
Yeah, they're getting a little frisky here because they know there's no ultimate up for the Nautilus or the Nico, and they're going to go 45!
Yeah, Extendo Beam does come in. Aiming has pressed the ult button. Moonlight Vigil does come down, though, as Kana is slicing his way into the fight already. They've taken down Lahen's. Keen trying to find the angle, but he's mini now. He's not exactly able to do too much, as it's Canyon that locks down the Dragon. Cataclysm flies in, and Keen has to flash away. It's a Mountain Soul, and DK are on the board.
I love it when teams evaluate a pick like that, a loss, and they say, I don't care if you got the early kill onto a teammate, we're still going to fight you because of what you invested into it. The Nautilus ult, the Nico ult, the huge engage tools, 4KT down. D+ are not going to give it to you. They grab the Drake, they grab the kills here. They've got the gold lead, Atlas.
Yeah, there's a couple of turret plates there as well on the bottom side. One towards the top side as well as Showmaker. We said he had his teleport up. The fight was over by the time he respawned, so he heads back up there and collects what money he can find We know just how pivotal his Ahri has been. Quadra kill last time he played it here at Worlds. See whether once again he can have a performance like that as we check this out once again. And like you noted, Kobe, the cooldowns.
Yeah, it's one of those moments that's a non-ironic. Hey, they don't have ult, they don't have flash. You know, after you get picked,
ping all the buttons. Ping
exactly.
all the buttons.
You're like, look how much they invested into me. And D+, they just annihilate Lehens because the Nautilus had no flash, had no ultimate. And then the big flashier follow-up. Kana goes in with the Renekton stun, allowing the follow-up there. They do chase out the rest of the team, but getting some summoner spells.
Could have been even better for D+ as well. I think Deft flashed a little bit early. Kana got the flash stun to lock down Keen. If there were chakrams there to follow up, could have been a different story as Gravitum going to land onto Cuz. And in our MasterCard lane economy snapshot, it is all about BDD and aiming. And honestly, if you want to learn a little bit about KT, this snapshot does give you an idea about how they've been playing so far this year.
Fair enough. Because I think...
Okay, Hex Splash going to be used by Kellen here. Extendo Beam going to deter him from wanting to do too much.
Because I think...
3 in the bottom lane.
Has had his share of some exciting early games. Not this time around particularly, but I want to see this rotation towards mid because Kana's moving down on the Renekton. Doesn't have flash. It shouldn't be able to get too much done, and yeah, BDD will just back off. But there's double wards here on both sides of the river. Feels pretty safe.
And looking at the CS numbers, it really does feel like KT across all of the lanes in the laning phase have had just the best time. You can see in the gold, things very, very even there. But it's been about the plays that D+ have been able to make in this early game, not necessarily how these lanes have actually been functioning so far. I think KT are going to be feeling pretty good about where this game is heading, especially when we're on even footing as far as these dragons are concerned at this point in time. First mountain and second mountain this game, I think, are going to be huge for getting tempo advantages in this one. We saw the Soul not necessarily do too much last time around, but I think given the scaling equality across these two squads, certainly could be the thing to tip the scales.
I certainly agree, especially with, you were mentioning the champion pool of aiming and how he feels so much more comfortable on these champions that have their own agency, their own mobility. The Kai'Sa, the Zeri champions here, and with him having such a good start in that bottom lane, so rich early on.
And I also think that like Zeri is probably the aiming champion that is the most beneficial for him. Because like you remember like playing Doom 2 as a kid, you type in the cheat code ID clip and you just get to go through the walls. Like it's broken. Like it's really silly. And aiming just gets to do that at any moment. And when there's a Jarvan on the other team, he presses his R button and you're like, cool story, bro. And you just skate through it. I just wanted to talk about Doom 2.
Cataclysm is more like a skateboard ramp or something for Zeri. Woohoo! Yay!
Unless you do it against a wall, in which case she just keeps going. Fantastic. Well, aiming's just parking himself in the mid lane, having the best time ever. And there feels like there's an air of inevitability around KT right now, as aiming just has so much extra money.
Atlas, the narrative for Deft,
right?
The unbreakable spirit. It's being put to the test.
I mean, this is exactly do or die, right?
Yeah.
And you remember, this is a team that immediately went down to the lower bracket. Like, they have had their backs against the wall, and yes, strength of schedule is something that you need to take into consideration, but you were talking about narrative, and I want to stick to the fact that as soon as they're on the edge of being out, that's when Deft especially is powered up. It's whether he's convinced the rest of his team to also power up alongside him. That is the question, because of course, Canyon and Showmaker, we know their highs are extraordinarily high. It's just whether they can find that mojo, find those moments in this game. It's right now there for the taking for either team. This is very, very close. Kana going to be able to clear out those minions very satisfyingly.
Yeah. The entire year coming down to this for the D+ players, putting so much effort in to get to this point. And now with the first of those important mountain dragons that you mentioned arriving to the rift, it is KT first into the river. And
Bill has his own medicine. He gets knocked up. He's going to flash, but he's not going to get away. Still, Kellen's in trouble, but he's got an unbreakable will. An unbreakable spirit, if you will, Kobe. And there is the Rift Herald parked in the mid lane. DK will use that, grab tempo, and probably grab the dragon. The charm's going to go wide. Doesn't seem to matter too much, as it's all about getting control around this map.
Okay, the only thing KT are really getting is a topside turret for Keen, but the Gnar with Trinity Force is already going to start to be really annoying in these side lanes. D+ not going to actually force on the dragon in the aftermath either, because they want to try and get those lanes under control. Too much of a tempo loss, I guess, there. So they get Showmaker pushing on bottom side, kind of trying to pick up the losses here on top as well, while Cuz just yoinks this blue. He has Smite.
He's going to be able to get the blue at least. Kind of comes on over, tries to be frustrating. Looks like it is just a blue steal over for Cuz though. And they get the shove in on that bottom side. They managed to get this Drake as well, so it's pretty good for D+. Oh, okay, Hook is going to connect onto Canyon, but he flags, he drags, he gets himself out. And the Mega Gnar is just wearing off, but now they've got control of the dragon. Showmaker coming on over, and Canyon doesn't want to invest his flash, doesn't want to get back in there and flip the game on a first Mountain Drake, and so they give it up.
Yeah, the different types of dragons do have different stats than the Mountain Dragon, the tankiest of them. Yeah. With the extra health takes so long, so even though they saw Cuz, hey, he's stealing blue buff, and then Kane is like, all right, fine, he's topside, I'm gonna do this dragon. He only gets it to 50% HP, the rest of the team, not enough help there in DPS, and it is a TY for leash moment, even though Kana is able to push back and get the topside turret back for.
It's such a tug of war though, because it feels like as soon as you show yourself committing to something, the other team is immediately moving to something on the other side of the map. Both of these squads have been pretty good at doing it so far this game, and Canna is going to be able to grab that turret for D+. They hadn't been very good at taking turrets in the last game, and I think that that might have been in their feedback session afterwards. So good to see that they've started prioritizing some of those cross-map plays, get these structures down, get control of the Rift, because especially when you have an Ahri draft, you really do want to make sure that you can play around Fog of War as much as possible. Catching champions with a charm can be absolutely huge, especially with Alistar follow-up. Jarvan, Renekton, single target CC, pretty prevalent.
100%. These teams are looking for picks. KT with a bit more AoE possibilities in theirs, and with them being able to push out side lane, it does seem like river priority on vision is assured for them, because poking around on the Viego, but DK are making a hard push in for the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, Scryer's Bloom spots out all of D+.
They stake their claim on the crab, waiting for its arrival. It is here, the glorious crustacean.
Well, Keen has a decent Nabar as well, so should be able to skew the numbers in his favor. The Renekton was thinking about coming on over, and Canyon's going to steal that away, so there you go. Thanks for leash. I guess that's one apiece as far as that goes this game. BDD rotating over, though. This could be a Flash Pot Blossom. Oh, good ward. Spots him out. He was pretending to be a Gnar, but with the real Gnar right there, he's not going to be found out. Not this time, as Canna doing a good job here. Just playing these side lanes, getting control, and putting the pressure on KT.
This is much better map movement, being able to get some side turrets in exchange for these movements. Plus, Canyon was able to Q Smite, grab that Scuttle Crab for themselves, so they secured that safety vision in the river around Baron as well. The easy towers are down now, though, Atlas. Okay, now is where the gloves come off. It gets a little bit more dangerous.
And last time around, I think D+ only managed to take the mid turret. I don't quite remember, but they didn't get a whole lot of turrets. It was just one that they were able to take down. Look at the heart monitor, man. It's been very close when it comes to gold.
Certainly has. Keeping the tension for the story, for the narrative battle here, building.
I really think that my heart doesn't need any more tension as far as this matchup is concerned. It has been pretty exhilarating. I've had a lot of egg on my face after these two teams have matched up in the past. I always feel like it's time for D+ to show their potential when they face against KT, and then KT wipes the floor with them. It's been the story in summer. And KT have an opportunity to do it once again with a 2-0 and head straight towards the knockout stage. I know there's so many that just want to see 3 games between these two squads, especially when we have to say goodbye to one of them.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we're going to see a big mismatch in damage output for mid laners. BDD is going second item death cap, and it's almost done, too. So when you're looking across at an Everfrost Zhonya's Ahri versus the damage output of a death cap proto belt, Nico for BDD, there's going to be a bit of a diff.
Yeah, and I remember when Scout built the Everfrost and the Zhonya's Ahri in that LNG game where he was doing well, the rest of his team not so much, and he got a bit of flack for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can Zhonya's some damage there, but the rest of your team is going to get a big Pop Blossom.
And it also just puts so much pressure on Deft to do so much damage in these team fights as well, because Canna is going to get outscaled. Canyon not going to be offering too much damage, and of course, Kellen isn't worth mentioning on that scale. And so KT will just be able to outdamage D+ pretty considerably as this game goes on, because even Cuz will be massive. And if they get that first pick, then the Viego can really cause a ruckus.
And that's the thing, too, since BDD's damage is spread
Okay.
A-OK.
We're just engaging onto Cuz here. He is going to go golden. Pop Blossom going to connect onto two, Deft being one of them. They take down Canyon to start this off as Kellen has to flash away. Showmaker a bit late on the teleport. And their jungler is now just dead for free. KT now pushing in mid.
That's a dream start for KT. BDD had just bought his newly, freshly printed death cap. He was itching to use it.
It still had the tag on it, didn't it?
It still had the tag on the front, and he makes Canyon take a train ticket right back home. Here we go, though. Baron now going to get burned down. No smite for D+, but they also don't have a lot of options.
Yeah, they have to go for a team fight to try and make this one work. Dominance already popped here by Canna. The knockup not going to be great there from Lehens as the Baron is going to go down, but can they keep themselves alive? Aiming says yes as he pops the ultimate. Kellen going to be the first one to be zapped down, and there is the skater. He gets over the wall, but Aiming's just going to get punished. I don't know about that one. Overly aggressive with these abilities is something he's been known for, and now it's a double kill for Deft. They're looking to turn it. In goes Canyon as he turns back on this. The double knockup as well. Make it a triple kill. And BDD's going to go down to Showmaker. That's the ace. And what happened here, Baron? Now KT. Deft is looking for it, and he almost gets the quadra. It's an ace for Canyon, though, in the end.
Deft writing the next chapter in his epic saga right before our eyes with those chakrams. The Aphelios damage, Atlas, it had to be all him. He pulls out the kills, they pull out the ace, and they get the dragon as reward.
Oh man, let's have a look at this replay once again. All I'm thinking is, don't start Baron. If you start Baron, it's doomed, Kobe.
I was thinking, man, this might be kind of boring series, Atlas, at this point, but then DK, you said they had to be on the edge of elimination, Atlas, to make their move, and then they do, even though they lose the Baron. Look at the start here. Showmaker using all his Ahri dashes to kite away back to the other side, and Aiming thinks, he's also thinking this game is free in the bag, so he goes forward, chases, after he had just used both summoner spells to kill off Kellen. That was just Kellen. They've got the rest of the squad ready to go in, make some space, and Deft stacking up those chakrams, mowed them down, allowing Showmaker and Canyon to finish the chase. And then he walks up to Key because
really
he wanted to use this stopwatch because he's about to turn it into a Guardian Angel anyway. It gave me a little bit of a heart attack, but I know that feeling. You're like, well,
may as well.
I'm going to turn it into a GA, so let's press this button.
Yep, and it also gives him the opportunity to potentially get a quadra kill as well. Look at how incredibly close this win probability is, powered by AWS. Finally, it is headed towards D+ after that great play, but by no means a KT out of it yet.
Oh.
And I thought that it was going to be Aiming diff, and he is 80 CS up. Like, it is absurd the amount of money he's been funneled, but if he just skates into a Renekton and an Aphelios with great guns, he is still gonna die, is Keen. Getting run down here.
Look at the minimap. The rest of the team is coming. D+ have
they're
everyone.
closing in. Look at this back being channeled by Cuz. He cancels it. And now Keen is definitely dead, but they might get a Viego for free as well. As Keen realizes that he has to fight it, he finds the Gnar. And how much time can he gain is the question. Minion waves aren't really there. And so with that knockup, with that stun, it should just be a Gravitum and then a Q from Deft with a Severum for the kill.
Dude, hats off to the script writers if they actually pull off this comeback for DK.
What does the script say for game 3 if it happens, Cody?
Well, we can't leak that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It's so good. We're about to watch it. We don't want spoilers.
I almost clicked to the next page because we've got it in front of us. But I'm not allowed to. We have to just.
Deft.
Because even the end of this game is pretty ridiculous. But you haven't read it yet, right?
No.
Okay.
I can't read.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
That's an easy way to avoid spoilers, Kirby. Especially if they're book spoilers. All right. Deft going to clear out the minion wave, and we'll see what the item is that's going to be coming up next. Lord Doms may not necessarily be that important because there aren't any true tanks really outside of, I guess, Lehens, but it's not really going to have too much armor. So you could go for, you know, a Bloodthirster if you like, but you can see the Last Whisper. It is just going to be the standard build here for the Aphelios.
We're living in a movie right now. All right. I felt this last year, you know, with the epic story of DRX making it happen.
I still haven't come to terms with the DRX 2022 win.
Yeah, I'm still actually not sold on this one too. I'm still
I don't think DRX can win this year.
KT, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that DRX are not going to be able to. I don't think
you got me with the turn. That was good. Honestly, yeah, I'm still favoring KT. They still have so many options available to them. They also have the GA onto Cuz. BDD has a lot of damage that he can actually bring. He's got the stopwatch. He's got the flash ready with his Nico. Level 16 on it as well.
Look at Canna's build as well. Deadman's Plate, Gargoyle's Stone Plate. He likes plates.
He does.
I guess.
He does like plates.
Stride.
Those top laners. Yeah,
they do like plates.
They do love their plates. That's all.
He couldn't get any turret plates, so he had to build the plates instead. Maybe that was what it was about. But it does mean he's going to be walking real fast, can get himself into stun range a little bit quicker, does have the extra AoE slow, and can stand in amongst everyone with Dominus up for a while. Oh, the ward actually going to be sneakily placed. Information advantage here for D+. Headbutt pole is going to connect as Lehens gets out of there, but Canna is bearing down on them. Showmaker looking for BDD, who dives on top of Deft, who just stands his ground, rips him to shreds. 5-6-0-4 now for the Aphelios. And Baron's up in 30 seconds. Don't start that. Don't start that. Oh, God. Kobe, no, you were reading the script, weren't you? You can read. That's how you get everyone.
Oh, I started believing in KT, man.
Oh, that's your first mistake. Oh, no.
Honestly, this is epic. It is fully stacked 1,000 gold kill on the head of Deft. But can you take it from him?
He'll need to do it twice.
In those last team fights, Deft is...
Oh, that's a jump scare as Canna is going to come over the wall. There's a Heartbreaker because he's not going to get out of this one. He's trying to dash his way through. He does flash, and he will survive at least. Now with no flash available, no ult available, how are you supposed to get into this pit and take this Baron? The Baron's going to be secured, and D+, that was clean. It's the cleanest Baron of the series so far, I think.
And that should be enough money for Showmaker to get some real damage on his Ahri finally. Let's see a death cap completion, please. Oh, he didn't quite have it, so they're going to go for Dragon first.
Yeah, he's got 2 sticks already built up. Hasn't turned those 2 sticks into a hat just yet. Recipe makes sense, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't question it. The Drake, 2 apiece for both of these squads, will be soul point for whoever manages to take this KT in position already. Canna stepping on up. He's got a full rage bar, and this is just going to be another 5v5. We'll see who manages to get the smite, but that's not the important one. Canyon locks it down this time, and D+, they don't even need to go for it. They have control of the mid lane. They have Baron. They can just push out and get more money.
This is turning into one of my favorite series, actually.
This is so intense, Kobe. I don't know, man. My heart is in trouble, but at least an LCK team's going to win today. I need to hold on to that. You know?
Exactly. You're guaranteed a win, and you're also guaranteed a loss. Double-edged sword. But D+, they obviously need this one to continue the series, and they look like they're going to get it with how they're playing. I mean, Deft just keeps on steamrolling ahead, and now for sure, Showmaker's going to have that cap, right?
Oh, 100%.
Those rods are needlessly large because they have all the extra material to be turned into a hat. That's what it's for.
That's what it is. The rods have lots of fabric, I guess.
That's the needless part.
So they just don't need to have all of the fabric because they're a match you want.
Vestigial fabric.
Looking for BDD. There's the flash Cataclysm. BDD flashes in turn. Gets himself out of the way, but D+, they continue to go for these engages and then get control over where they want on the Rift. This time around, KT are at least able to clear out the minion wave. But Showmaker over the wall, fishing for a charm. Cuz wants an angle. There's the anchor. That's going to connect Depth Charge on to Deft as BDD finds him in the backline as well, but the cleanse does come through, and now Showmaker's over the wall. The damage is there. 3-man. No, but where's the follow-up? Kane's going to get melted down. Aiming tries to get in there He gets the kill onto Kellen, and now Canna is looking for him. He skates away out of the fight. It's a 4v4 now as the flash forward. The charm's not going to land because the stopwatch is there. And the knock-up comes through. BDD's in trouble, but he splits the shape and tries to get away. Canyon goes down, and now Cuz is looking for the resets. It's a 3v3, but the health bars are low on both sides, apart from aiming. In goes Cuz, trying to be the hero here as Canna is dashing away. And D+, they're just trying to get out of this one now.
Cuz has a GA, and he wants to use it there. That was close. The minion wave pushing on bottom side. They're already pinging it. BDD is going to go collect that one, but that fight was so insanely close. Let's look at the start. He throws out the fishing charm over the top. I want to track Deft though, because he's able to juke Cuz's ultimate just in time. His Gale Force to the side.
Yeah, cleanse Gale Force immediately.
Avoids it, and then once the Gnar comes in, they're able to burst him down as well. Aiming tried to follow it up. He went in on this area, popped his ultimate for the burst damage, saved his wall jump for when Cannon went for the stun. And then Showmaker here, you mentioned it, the stopwatch is used after the charm, and they use that time to focus down the support. But the follow-up, Canyon wanted to use his stopwatch as well to create some space for them, and they lose the extra kill. So close.
There was so many little micro fights based on cooldowns that were being utilized. And KT managing to find an even fight, but taking tempo away from D+, definitely important. Total damage in favor of KT and their 3 carries this game. And if BDD continues to find these Pop Blossoms, I think that they might be cruising towards a 2-0. He now has his Void Staff complete, and yes, the stopwatch was broken, so it wasn't Azonya's. So actually it is kind of important. He hasn't been able to put that timepiece together just yet. And so in the next fight, not going to be able to get out so easily.
Yeah, DK definitely have the timepiece advantage right now with the stopwatch for Kana, as well as the Zonia's completed for Showmaker. And honestly, I feel like Showmaker's been ramping this whole game. He's slowly, quietly been warming up, and we're gonna see some big charms, big plays from him in the future.
I'm just looking forward to the Magi's. When the Magi's comes in, that's when you know the big plays will follow. Or disaster. You know, look, I'm not gonna. Soul Point is there for D+, though, 1 minute on this Drake, and that is going to be the next port of call here for both of these teams. The Baron going to be up at about the same time.
All right, well, Deft has been the story here. He has 100% kill participation as the AD carry as well. Tells the story of this game. They haven't done anything without him. The Aphelios, GA on cooldown now. Does have flash advantage over aiming though.
Aiming has lots and lots of creeps advantage.
True.
That is 457
and
at 36.5 minutes.
And that results in a completed item versus just the pickaxe advantage, which is an advantage, but it's not
it's
unbreakable.
over.
And there you go. Now it's not an advantage at all. So
Shield Breaker now done here for Deft. So 6 items for the Ophelio, 6 items for Zeri. Both of these champions pretty good when it comes to late game hyper carry-ness. And we'll see who's going to be able to find the better positioning. I'm looking at aiming. If he doesn't skate into his demise, then there's a big opportunity for them. You can see D+ though, they are favoring the Baron. They have Soul Point advantage that they have now lost, giving that one away. But if they manage to get a Baron off the back of this, or at least control of the area, that is going to be a big one for them. Rift Scuttler going to be taken here, but KT had enough time to move into position and try to contest. At least it feels that way. There's a lot of damage here on D+'s side, though, and they can't see the health bar of this Baron. Extendo Beam does come through, and it's Cuz not going to be able to steal it away. Canyon grabs that. The Charm is going to go wide, and KT, they really want to start this fight. Canna is just a brick wall in the front line, though, and Showmaker looking for that flank angle does go into Zonya's very early, as there's the flash now, pushes him into the wall, and Showmaker, he goes down. Pop Blossom doesn't find that much, but now Deft is in trouble. A Hens dives on top of him. Deft stays alive for a while, but then it's a shutdown from KT. And you may have a Baron, but you may lose your Nexus.
Canyon's trying to stop it. He's going for the minions, but KT will go for him.
Yeah, the drag was a little bit late there. Canyon just trying to get away, trying to stay alive. He gets over the wall, and he should be able to get back to base to keep this Baron alive.
Yep, KT can try and push through bottom lane because they do have minions there at least. How far can they get? 30 seconds left on Death.
Oh my goodness. see whether Canyon can try to do something here. I have a feeling that KT should just be able to mow down this turret. The inhibitor going to go down as well. Is this just going to be the end of D+'s road right here? The answer is no. They are going to head towards the mid lane, look for that inner turret, stack those wallets up as high as possible, and then see whether D+ can win another team
Teleport.
fight. Teleport to come through here. This could be a last-ditch effort. Headbutt pole is going to connect onto Keen. Gets knocked up by Canyon as well, but there's no damage here. There's no real opportunity. It's too late for Showmaker as he's now going to arrive, but the Unbreakable Will was there. The charm's going to land onto Cuz, and D+ have turned the tempo around.
Aiming coming down through the mid lane to join the rest of his team. One champion advantage at the moment with Cuz down for 45 seconds. Canyon and Showmaker, they make a beeline towards the red quadrant of the jungle while Def pushes up mid.
His GA back off cooldown now as well. Must have been pretty close actually as that last team fight was coming through. The win probability, it's once again back in favor of KT. We can probably ignore this at this point in time. I have no idea how it's calculated. When it's a KT versus D+ game, that sounds like too much math. Let's check out this replay.
Yeah, Cuz tried to go flash inside the pit and steal, but he couldn't get it. Canyon hit it. This one though, Showmaker coming around for the flank and him using his stopwatch at the stun. They get immediately collapsed on. He gets annihilated. Meanwhile, their Guardian Angel just resurrects Cuz, and KT can turn on the rest of DK. Deft even shooting backwards there as he's trying to run away.
Yeah, and he threw his ult out at the very beginning of the fight in a strange direction.
Yeah.
Which does eliminate a lot of the
effectiveness.
Yeah, the effectiveness of the ult is it goes from some to zero.
It's slightly lower, yeah.
I'm pretty confident to give that stat.
Man, yeah, okay. Showmaker.
There's the Flame Horizon, by the way. Aiming has completed that. 500 CS. Not bad.
Golf clap. Can't do much with that extra money at this point, though. Full builds.
True.
So you can chug your potions. Make sure to always chug your potions.
It is just a big number, you know? It's a big amount of CS. Oh, he almost has the same amount of CS as his scoreline. He just needs 3 more. That is going to be a cool moment. There it is. There's the moment.
Hey!
Screenshot.
I'm happy I could share this moment with you.
That was fantastic. I'm really glad you were here as well, Kobe. Thank you for being by my side. Okay, the next... Where's the next team fight that's going to decide this game? Is it going to be the Mountain Soul, or is it just going to be a Baron? Are we going to see someone give up Mountain Soul and then it's like trade Baron for Nexus, or?
So if it wasn't these two teams, I'd say for sure the Mountain Soul. And even if it is these two teams, I'm going to say for sure the Mountain Soul.
All right, cool. So it's for sure the Mountain Soul. And D+, they have the GA. That is their advantage over Aiming, who has just gone all damage. Does have, of course, the Bloodthirster, which is going to allow him to stay alive in these fights if he can keep auto-attacking. But if this CC does come in, Aiming doesn't have a lot of options. So much is going to be relying on, can BDD get all of that extra CC? Can Keen be there for the follow-up with this Meganar? And can Aiming avoid skating into his doom?
And KT actually should try and delay a little bit for the Guardian Angel timer for Cuz. It's going to be synced pretty closely with this Dragon. As long as Cuz doesn't get picked right now, they'll have the GA ready for the fight. He can dive in again, look for the resets. And DK, again, their backs are against the wall because they really need to find a pick on an isolated target and focus fire somebody down.
Well, there's a fake BDD. There's a headbutt pole onto a Meganar. Keen actually pretty big. Hook is going to connect onto Kellen, who does press the R button. That is a big cooldown as there's a Cataclysm onto 3. Into the backline goes Kana. Gargoyle Stoneplate keeping himself alive with the Pop Blossom. It's massive. The Noah is even bigger. And Aiming is going to pop into that backline. He's unstoppable now as he takes down Kellen. Deft into his GA. He's going to pop back up again, but now he goes down. And Kana gets a few of them. Can Showmaker be the man to save it? Looks like the answer is no, because Aiming is still up. Keen is still up. And I think KT may have done it. Showmaker is going to go golden, but that's a see your death moment. Aiming says goodnight, and Keen is just teleporting for the Nexus. Canyon wants to stop him, but I just don't think he will dissuade Keen from heading towards the knockout stage. It has been so long since we've seen this man there, and he's going to earn it with a 2-0 KT. They take down D+. They end that road for Deft. Unfortunately, his back was against the wall. We thought it gave him power. Not according to KT. BDD will not be denied, and Keen will not be denied.
Nobody could get to aiming. Nobody could get to aiming. This Zeri is running rampant over the team. The AoE setup from KT, beautiful there. Gnar into the Pot Blossom. Deft really played his heart out, though.
He did.
Really, really Herculean effort from him, but it's not enough, and KT move on.
Incredible performance, and it was a 2-0, but it was pretty close the whole time. I think heads can be held high on the side of D+. It was a difficult road, right? Going down 0-2 at the very beginning of the tournament.
Draws Atlas this tournament.
And KT, they earned this because they had such a rough run. It's the second time that they were told that they have to take down D+. On the second time of asking, they're able to do it. It was a 3-0 in the end as far as games were concerned. And D+, they will take a bow. It's time for them to go home. The rest of the LCK representatives leaving them behind.
Wow. What a day. That was a fun adventure in the LCK Atlas. Thank you for taking me along.
I really feel like it suits your style, Kobe. If you're ever thinking about, taking some time off, we could do a trade or something like that.
A little exchange program. I'm down to be an exchange student.
I'm down for that as well. I've enjoyed a lot of these LCS games while we've been here at Worlds as well. So believe me, I can come over and then we can take a plane together back to Korea.
Nice.
That'll be cute.
Wow, that was a fun one though. So many ups and downs. So many back and forth moments in this one.
Whew. Tell you what, I'm going to need to, lie down, get a drink of water and things like that. But after the break, we are kicking off